Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Tesla price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. Starting on the all-time history for Tesla, we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5 impulse toward the upside, finish wave A. You got a B, C, and of course as a wave B, we're looking after it for a wave C toward the upside, a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. Meaning we have finished a zigzag for a wave A, and potentially you're looking at a corrective wave here for a wave B. It might be a bigger wave B, of course, in case we're moving in an expanding flat as 3 waves down, 3 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. Of course, this bearish scenario has to stay in our mind, and we of course keep it on this chart until of course invalidation, meaning taking as an all-time high here, and continuation simply toward the upside, meaning you have simply finished a correction there and you're looking simply for higher. In this case scenario, of course, we are looking therefore at an ending diagonal, which it can be of course a wave C here, after having of course an A, B and a C in an all-time history for Tesla. And that means after having a zigzag here as a wave A, you're looking at a correction for wave B, potentially in case that we have finished here and we take the all-time high, and potentially we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5 ending diagonal for a wave C here to finish of course as this 3 waves pattern toward the upside. So this is one scenario that it can be unfolding, of course, for Tesla. And currently with the price action, we start to see something very impulsive toward the upside, which it might be the case scenario. Another scenario is, of course, a longer sideways correction as a triangle here. You got your A, B, and a C. It's a running triangle with a wave B higher, very low possibility and rare case scenario that you might see this, especially on a stock market chart. It's very rare case scenario, especially for Tesla actually, which is of course a volatile chart normally. Therefore, very rare case scenario to be in a corrective sideways, higher potential that we are potentially here in an ending diagonal, or it can be of course very rare case scenario, but that because of course we see a zigzag here and another an impulse. So basically a 1, 2 and then 1, 2 again, and then moving toward the upside. All right, so these are the possible scenarios, guys, for the daily and for the all-time history between bullish and bearish scenario. Let's move inside it to get much more answers for the next price action. So on the 2 hours chart, if we take a look exactly on this scenario, that we are looking for a potentially finished wave A in case we are still corrective. You're looking for a wave B toward the upside and a wave C, right? And this is of course your bearish scenario here. Potentially we're looking at a very nice reaction from the market here. Now we were expecting in our last analysis is this blue box to be hit, and obviously we have hit it. It has been a long time. I didn't analyze, sorry, I have been busy on the channel, and now I'm back, guys. I promise we're back for analysis daily and for all the stock market that we used to it. So basically we took anyway the blue box as expected. So during those times we were looking, the target was set for you guys. So basically we hit it and we have finished. Potentially we were looking for a leading diagonal here. Now I know that this is of course logarithmic chart and it looks like we hit it perfectly, but what I don't like it is that on the linear chart your fib levels become of course higher. You overshooted the 1-to-1 fib level on the linear. And normally, to bring a much more precise and accurate analysis, I try always to merge both the linear and the logarithmic chart together. So basically, and I'm looking at this wave here, wave 5, it is longer than the wave 3, so I don't like it at all. Meaning, besides that we hit the perfect fib level on logarithmic chart, I prefer to follow as well the linear chart in my prediction. Therefore, a combination would be great. Meaning, double 1, 2, it was already a scenario set by us as well, of course, as a double 1, 2. Now what I don't like here is the 3 waves pattern, right, which is looking a perfect zigzag toward the upside. However, We cannot deny that this can be a big wave ABC as a wave 2 as well, and then looking for another one too, right? Knowing that this overshooting wave B is very high, okay? And obviously it overshooted the fib levels. But I cannot, of course, deny that, of course, this can be a big wave 1, 2, 1, 2, especially looking at this answer given here, of course, as a very extended wave 3. And therefore, I'm gonna start to lay down, of course, a much more possible as bullish scenario is double 1-2s here, rather than just, of course, one leading diagonal. Meaning, I'm looking right now for the first scenario 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. The wave 3 not finished yet. One more high is a preferable. One more high, even, let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Yes, one more high, very, very likely to have. And then, of course, we might have another 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5. In this case scenario, I'm also looking at the same time for a potential bearish scenario. Always keep in mind, guys, always just to keep in mind what if a wave B is playing from this wave A in the top that we got it. So this one as a wave A, we get a wave B, and then moving continuation toward the downside. The scenario would be of this correction is, of course, a potential zigzag here, and then correction for X and another zigzag, right? So potentially W, X and a Y, W, X and a Y, but this W, X and a Y will require, therefore, it will require, of course, another zigzag, right? So we need to see a zigzag in this case scenario. And this might be, of course, the bearish scenario that it might play over there, for a wave B. So we have to be careful with it. It can come later on, of course. Here we go. Now, if we are bullish, we would like to see continuation for first, and then 4, 5, 4, and a 5 continuation simply toward the upside. With this, is we're gonna finish, of course, a bigger wave 1, and we are looking for, or bigger wave A, by the way. Don't forget this, because we might be in a bigger leading diagonal, remember? So if we are on the daily, we better go back to the daily here. What if we are in a leading diagonal, right? So here we go. If we are in a leading diagonal, you would like to see, of course, after double zigzags here, you would like to see a final zigzag. And that means, of course, an impulse, a correction impulse, right? So we will get a wave A, a B, and a C. Right, and with this diagonal, what we can have after it, of course, it can be a wave 1, 2 continuation toward the upside, or it can be triple 1, 2s, but very, very low possibility. You are in zigzag, guys. The only possible scenario is that you have a leading diagonal 1, 2, and then simply continuation for higher prices. Yep, so back to the 2 hours chart, just to label as well our ABC here. So you might have as well an A, a B, and a C. We're gonna put this in the yellow. All right, so basically this is our zigzag for potentially a diagonal. Now, if we take back as well, sorry, I'm going back and forth on the time frames, but it's very important for the target. Right, so the main target for this leading diagonal is, of course, following wave 5 as diagonal. All right, so basically this is our target. Right, now let's go back on the 2 hours chart to see where it might be heading. Okay, here we go. All right, that's good. Okay. So basically, I'm gonna put this also on the 4 hour chart. Here we go. Let me check this. Here we go. Yeah. So I'm gonna remove this right now because I'm looking for higher potential. This one. I'm gonna also reduce a little bit the unused. Here we go. Fib levels. Yep. Basically, between 559 and 450. That would be a target for this leading diagonal, guys. All right, and A, B, and a C, potentially this yellow scenario, unless, of course, we are in a W, X, and a Y, and then simply we're seeking after, of course, a wave C here. some scenarios are not playing anymore here, so I'm gonna delete them. So we already got a confirmation that we're looking a little bit for higher right now. And of course, something else is unfolding. So definitely one of these scenarios. So in the bullish, ABC hitting this target. In the bearish, simply continuation as ABC as well toward the downside. We will get it, of course, in WX and a Y. This one will be get, of course, a wave Y and then moving toward the downside. Yep, so basically I would like to see higher prices on even lower time frame or on the micro levels. The wave 3 target normally, so let's target as well the micro. Now we got our ultimate target here for the leading diagonal, but basically yes, I would like to see for a wave 3 here, this minimum target 1.27, okay? I would like to see it at least, okay? So this is my next blue box on the micro level, guys. And that means you would like to see a push toward the upside for wave 3, potentially can be very high, and then moving for 5, 4, and a 5. So yes, this impulse might be even higher and higher, guys. So we're gonna see how this thing is unfolding. And if this happens, if we get a very extended wave, A, B, and a C, I believe that, yeah, the targets for a wave 5 might be very close, right? Because if we get a wave 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, I mean, you're already in the target. And that means, of course, definitely something else might be unfolding even much more bullish, guys. Therefore, I have no other option rather than taking this as a 1, 2, and 1, 2. Knowing that it looks like 3 waves. Yeah? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Internally, inside this wave, potentially we have 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, so wave 3, wave 4, 5 for a 1, 2. Correction, 1, 2, 1, 2 again. No, that is not really nice to see it as an impulse because you got invalidation here. But what if we have... You would like to see your wave 3 here, your wave 4 here, and that means 1, 2, 1, 2. Problematic, yeah? Problematic. Meaning, yeah, less possibility, guys. Higher possibility is for the diagonal. Let's see, of course, what's going to happen step by step. Now, I prefer, of course, to see this box. I know it is very high, but it might be only the 1.27, then moving 4 and a 5, 4 and a 5, simply just getting it like this, yeah? Yep, so, and based on the time for the wave 2, we might get a little bit sideways, okay, guys? So we might get, yeah, the wave 3, wave 4 might be very sideways, and then getting a wave 5, okay? So this might shift to this side as a little bit. The wave 2 here is sharp, also might be sideways here, and then 3, 4, and a 5 to finish a wave 8. So basically, I'm looking at this, guys. 3 sideways wave 4, or sorry, it should be a deeper wave 4 here. Based on alternation, yeah. So alternation between wave 2 and the wave 4, you would like to see a zigzag. This is already a flat, so you would like to see a zigzag here, actually. So, sorry, guys. Wave 5, wave 4, wave 3. Now you get a sideways because the wave 2 is a zigzag. You might get a sideways and then wave 5. Here we go. This is what I would like to see. Okay. For the next price for Tesla. All right. Yeah. Yeah. And for the wave Y here, we are in A, B, and C. Be careful. Both case scenarios might have the same. So we might get a wave Y therefore here. Exactly. After having this zigzag, if we move toward the downside directly, all right, like this might be your bearish scenario. Okay, bearish. Here we go. This might be the wave B. Yeah, so this is the path and the crossroads that I'm looking for, guys. Okay, on Tesla. All right. So we're gonna see how this is going to unfold in the next weeks and months, I think. All right, that was it for Tesla. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.